Abilities in Valorant truly make the game unique, and smart ability use can secure kills, winning whole team fights and whole games altogether. That being said, not every ability is created equally, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the top 5 most impactful individual abilities that we've seen so far, and give you tips and tricks on what you need to do in order to make sure that you get tons of value out of each and every one of them. We're going to be pumping out tons of videos on this new Game League Valorant channel, so definitely smash that subscribe button. But all that being said, let's just jump right into it, shall we? So for the weekend, we had the drop beta event where we got to see tons of different heroes and their abilities, and I'm going to be breaking down the top 5 most individually powerful abilities that I've seen. Kicking it off with number 5 is Cypher's Tripwire. Now, streamer Jordan Fisher uses this to great effectiveness, disrupting Summit's team over and over again. What Tripwire does is it's actually a trap that can be placed between 2 walls that if enemies walk through it, it not only dazes them, but they're revealed to your team. This is an incredibly powerful stun / informational ability. If an enemy walks into this and you're nearby, it's extremely simple for you to simply pop out and kill them. This allows it to be a trap ability. The fact that it's revealed is icing on the cake because honestly in this game, information is king. If you know exactly where enemies are, they're almost sitting ducks. And being able to give that information to you and your team means that that person's almost assuredly dead if they run into this trap wire, which means it's extremely powerful. Now that being said, it can actually be destroyed by enemies, so it's not the most powerful thing, but here is what you could exactly do in order to get value out of it, even if enemies are actively looking for it or they decide to kill it altogether. You could be camping nearby waiting for an enemy to shoot it, thus revealing their location, allowing you to pop out and secure a kill on them. So even if they destroy it, you could still get tons of value out of it. On top of it, you could set this trap wire in places where enemies actually have to route through, so that you know, even if the enemy destroys it, you know exactly where they routed, you know exactly where your trap wires are, so that gives you an extra layer of information, even if they destroy it, even if they discover it. And like I said before, information is key. So if they walk into it, they're instantly killed almost assuredly. And even if they don't walk into it, whether they destroy it and you're near them, you can get a kill on them, or if they destroy it far away from you, you still get precious information. This is insanely powerful at anti-flank. It often results in free kills, and the fact that it stuns enemies is icing on the cake. Do not underestimate this ability. I guarantee you it's going to get tons of picks in the early stages of this game. So definitely be on the lookout for Trapwire because it's going to farm people over and over again. Don't be afraid to whip out this character because Trapwire is so insanely powerful. Now moving on to ability number 4, we have Sage's Barrier Orb. Now, Sage's Barrier is on this list for a number of reasons, but the most important is that the wall itself is not only a structure that blocks LOS, but it also blocks enemy fire. That being said, it can be destroyed, but the combination of visual clutter plus the ability to stop fire and abilities is insanely powerful on one hero, especially when you add it to a hero that has the ability to res her allies, and she has other disruption tools that prevents enemies from pushing. The thing that's really important about Barrier Orb is, unlike something like a smoke, it's actually pretty weak to focus fire. If you block off LOS for 4 people on the enemy team, they can easily shoot your barrier and destroy it. However, if there's only 1 or 2 people and you wall them off in the mid or late game, they will not be able to destroy it that easily, and if they fire, it really risks giving up their positioning. This is really strong against enemies that are pushing. This is really strong in a multitude of situations, whether you want to stop an enemy from pushing down a hallway or whether you want to simply block LOS from an enemy on the high ground. It's very versatile, and that's why it's extremely powerful. That being said, keep in mind that characters like Jett have an ability to go up and over the wall, so it's not always going to protect you in every single situation, and enemies like Jett can actually get on top of it and use the high ground to their advantage, so keep that in mind. But all in all, Sage's Barrier is going to be a really solid addition. It's going to be extremely powerful if you use it correctly. Just really be careful about using it in the very beginning of the fight. It's better, in my opinion, to use it in the mid or late game and use something like smokes instead to block LOS when you're trying to cross and route around the map. Now moving on to ability number 3, we have Recon Arrow from SOVA. Now, if you haven't seen Recon Arrow, essentially what it is it's an arced bolt that sticks into the ground and reveals all enemies in the LOS. If the enemy shoots it, it's actually destructible, but that doesn't really matter for the power level of Recon Bolt because, like I said before, information is king in this game, and as long as it makes contact, you will actually get to see where all the enemies are. This means it's extremely powerful for setting up plays on an objective. It's extremely powerful for checking and seeing where enemies are. If you have a hunch about where an enemy's hiding or camping, you can essentially shoot this in a spot. You get to get full information around, so you need to understand that you can set it up in places where you know the full LOS of the room, and that means you get full information of the room. On top of it, in this game in particular, being able to shoot through walls is something you could do on almost every single part of every single map. shooting through walls is incredibly easy and a lot of walls can be shot through. So being able to give this information to your teammates can allow any AWPs or assault rifles to easily allow your teammates to kill someone through walls. This means that this can be set up with teammates, can set up insane plays, and it's incredibly powerful. Even if it gets destroyed, you're still going to get tons of value out of it. This means that the second a recon bolt comes near you, you need to dart the heck out of there, because the second that they find where you are, they're going to automatically be trying to line you up through the wall. If you stay camped in your position, just realize that you're probably going to get killed with little to no counterplay. So really understand that. And even if you destroy it, you're going to give up your location as well. So a lot of times you're going to need to completely relocate if someone sonic arrows in. And you kind of really understand just how powerful this ability is, because like I said, information is key. It leads to free picks. And this is one of the best abilities at doing it. It makes camping almost a nightmare to do against Sova. And with all the smoke clutter on the battlefield, with all the smokes and things like that, you could easily throw your recon bolt in the middle of a clouded, clustered field and get perfect information through the smoke and through the clouds and through the toxic gas. Can allow you to secure a lot of kills in a really dynamic team fight. So Sova is really versatile in a lot of these different situations because of this ability. Now moving on to ability number 2, we have Phoenix's Curveball. Now, you might be familiar with this ability. This has been leaked previously to this NDA, to this event. It's been leaked previously, and it's kind of like the flashbang of this game. Essentially, Phoenix snaps his fingers and curves a little fireball type thing around corners, and it flashes the enemy. Now, this is kind of like a flashbang, but the curve part is a little bit different. So let me explain how powerful this ability is. The cool thing about this ability is if an enemy is hiding right behind a corner and you know they're there, you can flash behind the corner and then peek them while they're completely stunned and pretty much get a free kill. Now, that doesn't mean that this has no counterplay, because it does. Something that's really important is before Phoenix actually launches this, he snaps his fingers, which means that there is some type of notification for the enemy. They could actually quickly turn their backs to you and then turn right around and kill you. So there is some counterplay, but there's also counterplay that you can do. You could have a teammate fire his gun or make a lot of noise so that it drowns out the snap, so that's really important. But the thing that's most impressive about Curveball to me is the fact that it really allows you to push and be aggressive on a lot of different choke points. It allows you to push and be aggressive on a lot of different corners. It's a versatile ability, and the fact that you could do it around corners means that there's little to no way that you get punished using this ability. It's an incredibly powerful pushing tool. However, keep in mind that the radius for it is actually not that far, so you're really gonna need to practice and keep in mind how far away an enemy. If you're just trying to flash around the corner and the enemy is really far back, then it's not probably gonna stun them. But if an enemy is right around the corner, it's more likely to stun them immediately. You can push up on them. And then also keep in mind that if you're in the Phoenix mirror match and you flash around the corner and push it, if you didn't flash the enemy Phoenix, he will often flash in response to your flash because you push up into his flash. It's kind of a funny counterplay here, but it came up multiple times over the weekend, and I really wanted to point it out. That's something that is going to take a lot of practice and mind games, but it's a really cool aspect of Phoenix. But all in all, I think Phoenix's Curveball is one of his most powerful abilities. It's good aggressively, it's good defensively, it's very powerful, and once you master it, I feel like it's going to be important to have a Phoenix on almost every single team going forward. Now let's move on to the last and most powerful ability in the entire game that I've seen so far. In my opinion, this ability is far and away the best ability, and it might actually make me main this hero because I think it's that powerful, and it's Brimstone's Sky Smoke. Now, Sky Smoke is one of the most impactful abilities that I've seen over the weekend. It allows Brimstone to smoke any location on the map from range. This is incredibly powerful and can hold up to 3 charges that you can purchase. This means that Brimstone can essentially smoke locations from the sky from complete safety, and that's incredibly powerful for a number of reasons. Let me explain. You don't have to throw smoke to set it up. You could put it exactly where you want to automatically, and you can set it up for your team without even peeking a point or a location at all. You can also smoke locations that you're not really near, helping your team. If you learn callouts with your team, you can essentially smoke any location on the map and help your team from complete safety. This puts an insanely high skill cap on Brimstone and a really team-centered ability. I think Brimstone is going to be one of the best characters for team play. On top of that, one of the most powerful things that you can start doing right away is before you walk onto a point, you can completely smoke multiple angles of attack from enemies, push onto a point as a team while it's completely smoked out, and get that good positioning. This is an incredibly powerful ability that has tons of versatility as far as smoking objectives while you're pushing them, smoking objectives while the enemy needs to push and trying to cap a point. You can help your allies from range, or you could just smoke a single place and just push it just like you would with a regular smoke grenade. Essentially, this comes with tons of versatility and can set up tons of insane pushes and plays. I think Sky Smoke on Brimstone is the most powerful ability that we have seen, and I think it's going to be a staple of any meta going forward. It probably needs a nerf, to be honest. It's incredibly powerful. But that being said, if you want to learn how to master any of these characters on this list, definitely subscribe to Game Leap right now. We're going to be pushing up multiple video uploads a day over every single hero, ability, map, mode, anything that you want to know about Valorant, we will be delivering. Definitely do yourself a favor and jump in on the ground floor. Anyways, if you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Agree or disagree with my list, I would love to know. That's all I have for you today. I'm Coach Mills, and until next time,